Welcome to the White House. The 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves. And now the Braves will be forever remembered for the unstoppable, joyful run that this team made last year. You made the playoffs and beat the Brewers and the Dodgers, and then you beat the Astros to win it all. Forever known as the Upset Kings of October.
Champion Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Truist. What a day in our nation's capital for the Braves, who were feted by President Joe Biden. And now the journey continues toward another joyful playoff run as the Braves take on the Nationals in Game 1 of a 3-game set tonight. Hi again, everybody. Jeff Francoeur, Chip Caray, Paul Byrd along in a moment. What a day for the Braves, who were honored by the president at the White House today for last year's World Series championship, and a run we hope continues as the Braves take on the Nationals, partner, a team we've dominated this year.
We have, and I'll just say this first. What a special day. Yes. It was a lot of fun. And it would be nice to keep that going here tonight at Nationals Park, where the Braves have really taken care of business. When you look at these numbers right here, I mean, you talk about, there was a time 5 or 6 years ago, if you remember, they couldn't win a game here, the Braves. Now they've come in and they've done this plus 43 run differential. And when you're looking where you're at in the standings right now, these next 3 games got to take care of business. The good news, Bryce Elder's getting the ball tonight in Game 1, and he has been outstanding for the Braves. You talk about taking it to the next level, 18 2/3 with a .96 ERA. That two-seamer has really stuck out to me. He is running on these righties, and he's done a great job. Hopefully he can get us off to a nice start tonight.
His first big league win came against the Nationals. Here's to another as the Braves and Nats kick things off here in Washington, D.C. It's a lovely night for baseball, an historic day for the Braves, who look to pull to within a game of the New York Mets in the Eastern Division race. Paul Byrd will join us as the Braves and Nats get started tonight. Game 1 of 3 is coming your way next on Bally Sports. Ozzie hits one deep to left. Into the Hank Aaron Terrace.
No doubter.
Yes! Oh, that's great. There's the first big league home run for Michael Harris. Enjoy that, kid. You never forget your first. And the Braves are on their way. And listen to the mustachioed Braves fans at Nationals Park. 11 strikeouts for Spencer Strider. And he rifles that ball deep left center field. Long gone. Swing right, base hit left field. Dansby's going to come home. We're a game and a half out of first. On the ground, deep short. Dansby slides from the knee. Throws and little drama in the ninth, but the Braves win the series. 3-2, your final score. And, Jeff, I think it's safe to say the Braves have dominated the season series with the Nationals, a trend we hope continues over these 3 games at Nationals Park. The Braves start play tonight, a game and a half behind the idle Mets in the Eastern Division race. The Toyota starting lineup has a different look to it. Yes, Ronald is back in the lineup. Look who is hitting 4th tonight. Michael Harris is the cleanup man for the Braves, with Orlando Arcia batting 9th.
Ay, se lo dijo.
And a big swing and a miss from Ronald against Corey Abbott, the National starter, who is 0-3 on the year.
Yeah, well, should be familiar with this. Just started against the Braves. 4 innings, 6 hits, and 4 earned runs. Pretty good slider. Not going to overpower you, as you see there.
39 innings for Abbott, 9 homers. Long balls have been a problem for this man in his brief major league career, which began with the Cubs organization. And the Nationals are 1-6 in games he has started this year. And that one on the ground to the left side. Ildemaro Vargas, and the stretch at first by Joey Meneses, and our game's underway with a ground ball out to third base. So, Jeff, an emotional day, an exciting day for the Braves franchise in Washington. How does that relate to your forward keys for victory this evening?
Well, I think offensively attack. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. Braves struck out 0 times against him just last week. And for Bryce Elder, run it back. 5 2/3 and only 1 run when you faced him last week. Good matchup for him.
When we talk about big wins for a ball club, I think the win yesterday in Philadelphia was enormously important for the Braves. With the Mets winning, the Braves came back in extra innings and beat the Phillies to stay a game and a half back. Your whole outlook in this Eastern race might look different had that outcome been different.
Yeah, 100%. You go from what could have been 2.5 games to 1.5. You can get that down to 1 tonight. And again, you know, with the Mets right now, unless the Braves sweep them, they will hold the tiebreaker. So you really have to kind of factor that in too. So a huge win yesterday.
That's fouled off Riley Adams' mask, and Dansby, one of the hitting heroes for the Braves yesterday, faces a 1-2 count. Swanson, a 3-hit game. An RBI single and a 2-run homer. And Dansby now extending his all-time franchise record RBI lead. He's got 92 of them and 22 home runs. What a year for the Braves shortstop. And a swing and a miss. Abbott has his first strikeout against the Braves this year. 2 up, 2 down, and Austin Riley is your next hitter.
This is top part of the zone.
In that outing by Corey Abbott against the Braves, he gave up a homer. It was a first-inning homer with 2 outs to Austin Riley. And this one popped up a mile-high right side. Meneses in foul ground to the warning track. He's got room, and it's a very quick and easy inning for Corey Abbott. 3 up, 3 down for Atlanta. Here come the Nationals in the first. At Nationals Park, here are the 53-99 Washington Nationals. That's right, a loss tonight for Washington gives them a 100-loss season. Lane Thomas will lead off for them. Got to figure out how to get Joey Meneses out. He was the former Braves farmhand who had 7 hits against Atlanta down at Truist Park. And as you mentioned a moment ago, Jeff, Bryce Elder, first big league win against the Nats. Here's to number 2 tonight.
Yeah, 2 good starts here in September for Bryce, back early versus Miami and then of course versus Washington. Again, his command has been a lot better since he's come back up this time.
First pitch swing, fly ball center, and Michael Harris is there for out number 1. That is also going to be a storyline in this series. They had a Elton John concert here at Nationals Park, and all the staging resulted in almost all of the outfield grass being replaced starting around midnight last night. They worked until 4 a.m. today to get this field up to major league standards, and you can see where the new grass is here for game 1.
And because of that, no BP today, no BP tomorrow. Again, I don't think it's the worst thing for this Braves club to have a little breather.
So how does that affect you as an outfielder with, I don't want to say bad turf, but perhaps unrooted turf?
I think the big thing is going to be if you got to plant real hard, are you going to slide some? You know, going back like that I don't think it's going to be an issue. But again, it's when you plant. You know, if you're trying to cut, does the turf give?
C.J. Abrams in an 0-2 count. That's way high. Abrams, the Atlanta kid, came over in the Juan Soto deal from the San Diego Padres. 240 average, couple of homers, 20 RBIs. This young man has a very bright future. And getting a chance to play every day here in Washington. He's 3 for 23 this year against the Braves staff. This one right to Dansby. Top spin roller. And Elder has his second out. Joey Meneses has been the hottest Washington hitter. What a story. 7 years in the Braves minor league system. Didn't get a chance to play in the show because Freddie Freeman was here. Went to Japan. Missed the 2020 season because of COVID. And now at the age of 30, here he is. And having a terrific run for the Nationals. How good has he been? He has more hits in his first 46 games than any hitter in the history of the Nationals franchise.
He's put some numbers up and power.
Big homer sunk the Braves down in Atlanta. He hit it into the Hank Aaron Terrace, one of his 12 this year. And this one lined into center. Harris late break, but he'll recover. And that'll take care of the Nationals. 2 perfect starts for Corey Abbott and Bryce Elder. And to the second we go.
No score, top 2 here in Washington. That's Michael Harris II, walking up 4th in this inning. He started out this year hitting 9th as a rookie. He absolutely tore it up. Now, guys put pressure on themselves. They hit differently based on where they walk up to the lineup sometimes. So I asked him before the game today, what's it like when you saw your name hitting 4th? What's it going to be like coming up to the plate? And he was almost upset with me for asking the question. He shook his head and he said, Paul, it doesn't matter where I hit in the lineup. I just got to square the ball up and hit the baseball. That's my job. That's it. What a great response.
And
guys.
He's done that job very well, Paul. What a day for Harris yesterday. Michael with a couple of walks, an RBI hit. And as you look at the National League rookie hitting leaders, Michael is atop virtually every column. Average, homers, RBIs, runs, hits, total bases.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he reminds you a little bit of Dansby in the fact that, 9th, we've seen him hit 2nd, now 4th. He just wants to put up good ABs wherever he's at, knowing that he'll drive in runs from any spot.
Well, he has torched the Nationals this year. 19 hits, 4 homers, and a .388 batting average. Michael closing in on a 2020 season. 20 homers, 20 steals. Needs one more in each of those categories to do that. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Corey Abbott. He's retired the first 4 Braves in a row. Abbott's averaging fewer than a strikeout per inning pitched. He's got 2 in as many innings today. And now he'll face Matt Olson. Matt's day got off to a good start yesterday. An RBI double in the first inning against the Phillies. Be great to get this guy going. He's had a rough September, as you know. And takes a strike. Adam Hamari, by the way, calling balls and strikes for game 1. We pointed this out in Philadelphia, Jeff, how differently Matt is holding his hands, how different his stance looks right now.
He's got the hands a little bit higher, trying to do something to get him going. Again, I still like when they're a little bit lower and he gets them back, just because that's what he's done for 2 years, and it's been, successful. It has. And he hit this rut, and I think it got a little bit extended what he was, instead of 20, 30 ABs, it got to 50 or 60, and so he's changing some things around. And we got that double yesterday, but then still trouble with that fastball. So hopefully he can get it going here.
Did he go? They ring him up at third base. Tom Hallion calls out Olson. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the second inning. I think that's really the troubling thing for Matt, Jeff. It's not just that he's not getting hits. He's having trouble making consistent contact at all.
Yeah. Well, he's stuck between that fastball. He doesn't want to be late on the fastball, so what do? You kind of cheat a little bit, speed yourself up, but then what does that make you susceptible to? That pitch. It's a fine line. And you walk up to that plate, the opposing pitcher, he knows. I mean, they see numbers. They get, especially in this day and age, they know when a guy's hot and when a guy is struggling some.
So 2 outs, base is empty for William Contreras. And this one is popped out of play over the Nationals dugout foul. And just like that, Williams behind 0-2 to Corey Abbott. The pride of Loyola Marymount University and a former second-round pick of the Cubs. That is a bullet foul. And a nice play.
Got to give William this today at the White House. He was styling.
Oh, man. Very patriotic suit.
That red suit was, I'll tell you what, good for him. You and I can't pull that off.
No chance. 0-2 pitch is cut on and missed. And they're going to check the baseball. Did he catch it? Nope, foul ball. Little smudge of dirt. And Riley Adams thought Abbott struck out the side. So William gets a reprieve. It's still 0-2.
Let's take a look. Yep, hit the dirt. Good call.
That went in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's what Jeff was talking about.
Look at that.
Look at that great looking foursome. Ozzie couldn't wear a sport coat. It wouldn't fit over his cast.
I know, that was funny. He seemed in good spirits.
Looked great. I talked to William and I talked to Guillermo Heredia at the White House. How meaningful must that visit have been for them? Not being from the United States and representing the world champions. It was truly a poignant day for all of us, I think.
It was a great experience. They treated us first class from the moment we got there, and getting to see all the representatives from the state of Georgia that were there, and some of them brought their kids. It was a great time.
2-2 count and rolled foul. So all that's left to do is hopefully have a return engagement this time next year.
That's what Terry said, right? His speech. We'll be back.
Braves Chairman Terry McGuirk addressed the audience and was standing next to President Biden on the dais today. Just a beautiful day. And that's low for a full count. 5 up, 5 down for Corey Abbott. Let's get this guy in the stretch and bring up Eddie Rosario, who's had a nice month. And a good battle continues. Very light schedule in the major leagues today. The Mets are idle. And so if Atlanta can win tonight, they would pull to within 1 game of the division lead with 8 to play. That's the goal here in game 1. And a terrific at bat for Contreras. He earns a 2-out walk.
Wow, 0-2. You thought you were struck out, and you come back and draw a walk.
Well, how rewarding this month must be for Eddie Rosario, hitting .325 in September, considering where he started and the way his season began with an eye injury. All of a sudden, Jeff, he's becoming a threat in this deep lineup.
It's about the time he started peaking last year, if you remember.
On the ground and bobbled at first. Race to the bag. Pitcher got there in time, and that will retire the side. Nice job by Corey Abbott not to spectate. That takes care of Eddie Rosario and the Braves in a scoreless second inning. We are back in Washington for Braves baseball. It's presented by Truist. Chip, Jeff, and Bertie with you from Nationals Park. We have no score. Bryce Elder will start his second inning with Luke Voit, Cesar Hernandez, and Luis Garcia. Voit is a 21 homer man, but he's also prone to swing and miss. Jeff, we saw that in Atlanta. First pitch, swing and a fly ball to right. Acuna checks the scoreboard to the middle of the warning track, leaps up, and he makes the catch. Timed that perfectly.
Right when he hit that, I thought that ball was gone for sure. And kind of slowly died there. And you can see Ronald doing a good job of checking where that fence is, so he knew. See how he uses that right arm to kind of know exactly where he's at. Good play.
And Elder will take as many one pitch outs as he can get. Here's Cesar Hernandez. We saw the Nationals bunt against Kenley Jansen. This is not a powerful team. They do not hit a lot of home runs. In fact, Jeff, they've been out-homered by 93 here in 2022.
They got to manufacture runs. Try to do different things.
Cesar Hernandez has had a nice career, hitting .249 this year. Remember him with the Phillies. That's slapped to left. Drifting back is Eddie. Plenty of room to handle that on a breezy night. And for Elder, 4 fly ball outs on a windy night in a big ballpark. That's a good recipe. 5 up, 5 down.
Yeah, I think, the flags aren't moving much, but I think that wind's kind of blown in a little bit on these hitters. Or we're just so high up that we're getting smoked up here with wind.
Yeah, we're kind of above the building.
We are, that is true.
They're knocking the wind down for the guys on the field. As Luis Garcia fouls one straight back.
I mean, we're up there.
But we can still get a beautiful view of the Capitol down the left field line, the Capitol Dome. And this area around Nationals Park, we were talking about it on the bus ride over. What a remarkable transformation this area has made around the Naval Yards.
It really is. We opened up the season here in 2008. Came up and played one game that Sunday night for ESPN, and we lost 2-1 in 11 innings. Our colleagues gave up a homer. Not going to say which sidearm guy it was, but.
Line drive to left on an 0-2 pitch. And Luis Garcia is aboard with the first hit of the game. And Ildemaro Vargas is that you just can't let that go.
Well, we got to, as an offense, we have to take a little bit of blame too. I mean, we only put 1 run up in 11 innings, so we weren't exactly hitting it all over the place. But none of these buildings were here. I mean, it was just really this field when we showed up. They've done a good job.
So Ildemaro Vargas, the Nationals' third baseman, he's another 30-year-old player that's getting a chance here in D.C. He's hitting .272 and had 3 hits against the Braves down at Truist Park. Well, you hit the nail on the head with Bryce Elder. It is really noticeable how much more around the plate he is, how briskly he works, how confidently he works, and the results show.
Well, I think also he has kind of understood the defense he has behind him. Put the ball in play, let them do it. Yeah, you're going to get your strikeouts here and there, but he's got one of the most athletic defenses in baseball. Let him go to work.
Garcia a short lead at first with an 0-2 count. And this one on the ground to the right side. Orlando's got it. And the peg to first in time. Good work by Bryce Elder. He's got 2 scoreless innings under his belt.
Back to Washington, everybody. In case you missed it, the Atlanta Braves, world champions last year, got to visit the White House today. Everybody dressed up, looking sharp, having a blast. They rolled out the red carpet, played Hail to the Chief. Joe Biden walked around the corner, was presented with a jersey. Everybody said it's a day they will never forget. Brian Snitker saying, since November 2nd, it's been quite a ride for me, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps getting even more special every day. They got to visit the Oval Office, and Snit said, I was blown away thinking some of the most important decisions in the world are made right here. Absolutely outstanding. I loved what Braves chairman Terry McGuirk said. Mr. President, we're young, we have a great team, and we hope to be back real soon. Guys.
Yeah, hopefully next year, Paul. I also love what President Biden said jokingly. He said his wife Jill, the First Lady, grew up in Philadelphia, big Phillies fan, and he had to be very careful in how he tempered his praise of the Braves after what Atlanta did to the Phillies the last 2 games up at Citizens Bank.
Yeah, say, Joe, it's not personal.
Right.
Just happened, right?
Just business.
Jesse Chavez had an outstanding hat on. He did take it off for the pitcher, but he was styling.
He wasn't the only one. A.J. Minter had a 10-gallon hat,
Yeah,
too.
he had a little cowboy hat on.
Yeah, it looked great.
The Texas with the boots.
Guys, I love seeing Adam Duvall and some others.
Yeah.
Neat moment.
On the ground third, Vargas has that. Ozuna will ground out. And the Braves looking for their first hit. 1 away here in the 3rd inning, and Orlando Arcia is your batter.
Yeah, Luke Jackson, Adam Duvall,
Yep.
Ian Anderson. So it's a good crew.
The thing that struck me was many of the guys who weren't on the team last year appeared at the White House.
Oh, it's
Michael
great.
Harris, Vaughn Grissom. I sat next to Colin McHugh in
Which
the
I
office.
thought was really, Colin's a little bit older veteran guy, but he came today, and those guys appreciated just as much.
So we talked at the start of the broadcast, the different look to the Braves lineup. Orlando Arcia getting a chance to start. Jeff, it's been a while for him. He was playing so well, then injured his hamstring. That opened the door for Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn came on like a house of fire, but he's cooled off now, so Orlando gets a chance to play tonight.
Yeah, I think you're going to, see both these guys get an opportunity. Because ultimately, without Ozzie now, when you go into the postseason, one of these guys is playing second base for you. So I think you want to keep getting both guys at bats to make sure that they're ready, and then you probably play the best matchup in that game that you like.
Driven to right. That's well hit. Lane Thomas going back, and he's got it.
This ball's dying tonight. All these balls right there. That ball was hit pretty darn good. And you saw the way Thomas went back at first. That's a ball you used to going way back on. And he had to actually kind of pump the brakes and come in on it.
Official first pitch temperature was 73 degrees. There is very little humidity here. As that ball is popped up behind the plate, Riley Adams won't get there. And we know, Jeff, when it's hot, when it's humid, this place can be an airport.
The ball can fly.
But that went off the bat of Arcia. Good approach. But it chased Thomas to the edge of the warning track for the second out. So Ronald grounded out his first time up. And takes an outside corner strike. So at the moment, 68 degrees, winds gusting around 15 miles an hour. Almost perfect weather for the start of a series. The 0-2 is caught on and missed. Corey Abbott has struck out 4 Braves. He has his second 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the home third. To the bottom of the third inning we go. Bryce Elder will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Nationals. And a lot of Braves fans are with us tonight, hoping to chop and chant their way to victory here in Game 1 of the series. Victor Robles has been a hot hitter. He'll lead things off. He's batting 8th. And the first pitch is skied toward left. Long run Rosario. He slides and he comes up with a terrific play for Eddie Rosario. Another swing early in the count and another 1 pitch out.
Man. You see how that ball was dying there? He had to come pretty far in to get that ball, but nice play.
So Thomas, Voit, and Robles all out on 1 pitch.
Well, and that's why you sit there with 20 pitches. And in a day that you used quite a few guys out of that pen yesterday, love a deep start.
Riley Adams, the catcher. Keibert Ruiz was injured, has a groin problem. He will not play the rest of the year for Washington, so Riley Adams will do the bulk of the work behind the plate for the Nats over the final 2 weeks. Adams hitting a .183 with 4 home runs. I don't want to say it's a cautionary tale because that's the wrong impression, but you and I were talking about how quickly this Nationals team's fortunes have changed since they won the World Series 3 years ago.
3 guys on the roster that were part of that team in 19.
That's all that's left.
That's all that's left. And one of them they just brought back this year. You know, he'd been gone for a couple of years in Anibal Sanchez. Really, the only 2 were Robles and Corbin, with Strasburg obviously hurt.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Elder has his first strikeout. 2 up and 2 men down. Top of the order, Lane Thomas coming up.
Yeah, and speaking of strikeouts, Elder gets his first strikeout of the night. And let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. His last 3 starts, 22 punch outs. You can see 12 on the sinker, 6 with that slider. And look at that. A lot of these pitches when we show here down in the zone. And then the ones that you see on the top is when he climbs that ladder on some of those right-handed hitters. So really good job by Bryce.
Lane Thomas swings first pitch. Tough play. Bare hand throw and got him. Bang, bang play at first. What a play by Austin Riley. Hunter Wendelstedt rings him up at first. And Elder has a very quick bottom of the 3rd inning to get Lane Thomas and send us to the 4th.
No challenge. Look at this. Bare hands it. Knows he's got to get rid of it quick. And as we see all the time, Austin makes such a strong throw and accurate over to Olson. The long stretch. We head to the 4th.
We go to the 4th inning, no score. Time for the offense to get rolling, my friend. As Dansby Swanson leads off, he's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature tonight.
Yeah, he sits safely in each of the last 10 games here at Nats Park. In the last 30 games against the Nats, 10 home runs and 27 stakes for Dansby.
Swanson struck out in his first at bat tonight. Let's see if the Braves have better luck the second time through now against right-hander Corey Abbott. And Dansby drives one to left. And a nice running catch by Cesar Hernandez. 1 pitch, 1 out for Dansby in the 4th inning. Here's Austin Riley.
I think all these hitters too are trying to, these pitchers are getting ahead, so they're attacking. With that being said, again, the ball's not really going anywhere.
Riley popped out his first time up. That ended the Braves' first inning. And Riley just got hit. Hope it got the elbow guard. Second Braves base runner. And a painful trot to first for the Atlanta third baseman.
Yep. Thank God he's got that on. That would have hurt.
I think that's what Hunter Wendelstedt's saying to him. That looked like it hurt, Austin. Well, you got your second base runner. Let's see if Michael can chase Riley around. Michael Harris, 19 hits this year against the Nationals. Short lead for Riley. The pitch.
And guys, in case you missed our pregame show, had the pleasure of interviewing Michael Harris, who said he wouldn't mind returning to the White House 5 years in a row. But check this out. He has never once in his career in high school, anywhere, been to the playoffs.
Really?
So he's pretty excited about what's coming up.
Wow. Yeah, tell him get it done. That way he can be standing up there next year instead of sitting next to me and Chip.
Yeah. That was a real downer for him, I can promise you. What a thrill. I was talking with Michael and Vaughn in the state dining room after the reception with the president. And they were just, as you'd expect 21-year-old kids to be, just wide-eyed, amazed in wonderment. At the Atlanta celebration, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And fouled straight back.
It's amazing to think in high school that he never went to the playoffs. If you remember in that interview that Kelly did with him, Vaughn, I think, had asked Michael, and Michael said, remember, he only hit like 1 home run in high school or none. It's like, well, you saved your power for the right time.
Did he ever? Let's see if the Braves can get some line drives to fall here. They're without a hit. We're in the 4th inning. They've had a walk and a hit batsman against Corey Abbott. And Michael expanded his strike zone and swings and misses for the 2nd time. That is 5 strikeouts in a game. And 2 are out for Matt Olson. Matt swung and missed his first time up. Five strikeouts is the most for Abbott in any start. He's now done that 4 times. And there's a drive down the right field line. He ambushed him and he kept it fair off the pole. Another 2-out lightning bolt. Atlanta leads 2-0.
You remember, Chip, back when Matt went through that early slump in the season, when he broke out, do you remember? It was the day after he hit off the curb machine, and he hit the foul pole down the right field line for a home run and then got hot. Here's a hanging changeup up in the zone. Pulls the hands in beautifully. Right off the foul pole.
His first homer since taking one out in Oakland on September the 6th. And that is the first hit for the Braves. It's a 2-run homer for Matt Olson. His 29th. He now has 94 runs batted in.
He got the double down the line yesterday. Got a 2-run homer now. Hopefully this is something that can really get him going the last 7-8 games and carry it right into the playoffs.
Individual numbers are one thing, Jeff, but I would assume for Matt or any terrific player, you just want to feel like you're contributing, not the other.
And especially when you're that guy in the middle part of the lineup that's been counted on.
So for Corey Abbott, that is the 10th homer he's given up now in 42 innings this year. And that's really been the problem for him in his major league career. Lots of long balls. 20 of them in 111 innings.
Well, that was a changeup there. He's throwing that changeup really well tonight. That one to Matt, though, just hung center cut up in the zone.
And Contreras is aboard again. He's walked twice, and the inning continues for the Braves. This again is where it has been so fun for Atlanta with 2 outs. They are relentless. They never concede anything. That was hugely important in the game against the Phillies yesterday. That brings up Eddie Rosario. He bounced out to first. Meneses bobbled the ball but fed the pitcher, and that was the end of the second. Braves have been dominant here in Washington. As we told you in our open, the Braves have won 14 of their last 15 games here. They have outscored the Nats by 43 runs in those 15 games. And now have hit 42 homers in their last 16 played in this ballpark. And they lead 2-0 here in the 4th inning. Another high fly ball walloped deep right. Thomas going back to the warning track, leaps at the wall, and he caught it up against the fence. Eddie Rosario almost hit a 2-run homer of his own, but Matt Olson off the foul pole and right gives Atlanta its first hit and its first 2 runs in Game 1.
On Matt Olson's 2-run homer, and right here to end the inning, Eddie Rosario almost had a 2-run homer. And you talk about this is the win right here. Thomas, you could see, thought he was a lot closer to the wall than he really was. Usually when it's hot, like you said, Chip, you're here in the summer, that ball is way gone, but tonight makes the out and keeps it 2-0.
So Bryce Elder has a lead heading to the 4th inning. He's only thrown 27 pitches. To get the first 9 outs, he'll face C.J. Abrams in the home 4th inning. Abrams, Meneses, and Luke Voit are coming up. Don't change a thing, Bryce. Keep attacking. He looks terrific. Here in his 8th start for the Braves, the pitch. On the ground, right to Matt. That's easy. 3 pitches. Abrams retired, 1 away. And here's Joey Meneses before Elder faces him. Here's a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Meneses lined out to center. That ended the Washington first. A Matt Olson homer, the only runs in this game. If Atlanta wins it, they'll be a game back of the Mets with 8 to play. The Mets have the Marlins next. We'll wrap up the series with the Nationals and then get set for a huge showdown at Truist Park starting Friday night. On the ground, Riley, tricky hop, can't make the play. And Joey Meneses is aboard with 1 out.
I think this is a play where Austin, with the slow runner, probably could have stopped right there and let it take that one more bounce. With that being said, I got to imagine they're going to give us a hit with him kind of coming in hard.
So Meneses, with his 8th hit against the Braves, is at first for Luke Voit, who flied out to right on the first pitch he saw. You forget that this young man led all of Major League Baseball in homers in the COVID season. He hit 22 of them. He's at 21 this year between the Padres and the Nationals. And he was not Washington's first choice when they made the deal to send Juan Soto and Josh Bell out west. They wanted Eric Hosmer.
He said no thanks.
So San Diego substituted Luke Voit. Right into the shift. Race to the bag. There's one. Cannon throw to first for two. A double play. Infield hit. Twin killing sends us to the fifth. Shutdown frame for Bryce Elder. Atlanta in control. 2-0 is your score. A select number of suites and hospitality areas are now available for you to book for potential 2022 playoff games at Truist Park. Spaces accommodating 20 to 150 fans are currently available, but they're going fast. Go to Braves.com/hospitality to request more info on securing your space for your group this postseason. Bryce Elder is dazzling. 35 pitches through 4 innings. He's been staked, Jeff, to a 2-0 lead, and here we are in the fifth with Marcell Ozuna leading off. Swing and a drive. That's walloped deep left. Marcell has left the building.
That ball was crushed. Tell you what, Chip, we saw in Philly, him starting to swing the bat. Got this pitch out over the plate and just lined it into the left field seats. Look at that, another pitch just up in the zone. Full extension.
His 22nd home run and first since September 4th when he took Pablo Lopez out for the Marlins. And that brings up Orlando Arcia. 2 homers for the Braves. You know the story. When this team hits homers, they're usually in very good shape. When Atlanta hits 2 or more homers, they're 54-11.
You don't want to say you live and die by the long ball, but this team is as close as you can to that. But when you have the power 1 through 9 in the lineup, I think that's one of the big, you know.
It's not just one guy that you're depending on to hit it out.
You're not top 4 and you go, man, if they don't do it.
Very deep, very powerful lineup. Again, Atlanta has hit a zillion home runs, it seems, against the Nationals this year. In this ballpark, Atlanta now 23 homers in 8 games. This one a mile high pop up. Who wants this? Vargas at third. Riley Adams, the catcher, back pedals and tumbles, but hangs on.
Man, that couldn't have been easy for a catcher with that ball kind of back spinning like that.
Perfect world. I'm guessing you want your third baseman to make that play.
I was going to say, I got to imagine that he's going to get in there and say, hey, you know, Vargas, next time you can call me off. It's allowed.
He may not have wanted any part of it either.
Good point.
This breezy night. And here's Ronaldo for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. Well, knock on wood, the Braves are taking care of their business here in game 1.
Yeah, not a lot of hits, but look, this team played for 7.5 hours yesterday, if you add that in. Got in at 11:30 last night. Had a great morning and afternoon, but it was long. They had to get up, and this is going to be a real test for them to come out here to me tonight with the focus, with the energy, to get it done. But then again, you know, these guys tend to do it every night for the most part.
The Braves are pushing toward their 96th win. The Nationals have 99 losses this year. One other note, the Nationals have a series left with the Mets. In fact, they will play the New York club, Will Davey Martinez's club, after that series with the Braves. Why is that noteworthy? Well, this year, as Acuna is down on strikes, the Nationals only have 15 wins against the Eastern Division. But did you know they have more wins against the Mets than any of the other Eastern foes they face?
That's good news. How many wins they got?
They're 5-11 against the Mets, so a third of their wins in the division have come against New York. And as you know, DeGrom and Scherzer will face us in Atlanta. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
But those are the facts as we match up here at Nationals Park tonight. Dansby 0 for 2 after Abbott picked up his 6th strikeout. Andres Machado is getting ready. Abbott ready with pitch number 72. And this one on the ground, just foul at third. Braves have hit 2 homers, one by Matt Olson, one by Marcell Ozuna. It's a 3-0 game, top of the 5th. And that one tipped and caught. It's a new career high for Corey Abbott, his 2nd strikeout of the inning. But that man with a leadoff home run, his 22nd of the year. And the Braves, behind Bryce Elder, now enjoy a 3-0 lead over the Nationals. The Braves have extended the lead for Bryce Elder, who starts his 5th inning against Cesar Hernandez, who flied out his first time up. Jeff, you made an excellent point earlier. With all the bullpen usage by the Braves in the extra inning game in Philly yesterday, Elder now has thrown just 37 pitches, and he's got the first out in the 5th inning.
Just keep going. You stay away from him. Tell him to keep your game plan. Keep attacking, guys. Look at that. 9-10, 7-9-2.
Those look like your ACT scores.
I'm telling you, remember he came up early in the year and made a couple starts. I just got that. Thank you.
Sorry.
That was good.
But
I don't even know what the heck I was going to say, but good job.
It was going to be great, I can promise you. There's a shot to right. Ronald on the run. That ball dies softly. He'll make a 360 pivot, but Luis Garcia stands at second with a 1-out double. He's 2 for 2.
I know what I was going to say.
There you go.
We saw him his first couple starts. Remember, he was great that first start, and then he walked 6 guys the next start. You remember that? He had
Yes.
6 walks.
Yeah.
He was erratic. Well, I think what Contreras is doing a great job now is setting up in the middle of the plate. And I remember Brian McCann used to talk about this when he caught Tim Hudson. He said, I would sit up in the middle of the plate, and I knew he'd throw that sinker, and I was hoping it would finish in. But for him, if I'd sit up in the middle, a lot of the time it was strikes. If I would set up in, that's when he missed way in. And so I think you're seeing that a little bit. That sinker, they're just setting up, letting them throw it, and letting it kind of work.
And that's an example of what we talked about a lot in Philadelphia for Contreras in particular. Understanding what a pitcher's pitches are doing and modifying what he usually does to make his starter more effective. There's a nice stop. Bertie, is that what you're seeing down by the Braves dugout?
Great analysis by Frenchie. Absolutely correct. When you have movement on a pitch like a heavy sinker and you try to spot that up on the outside corner every time, you're going to be behind 2-1, 3-1. It's not easy to throw, but if you shoot for the middle or even a third of the plate, you let that movement work, that's when you start pounding the zone, you start throwing strikes. Same thing with this breaking ball that's like a curveball going straight down. If you try to spot that up perfectly every time, you're going to be in trouble. So you throw to quadrants, you let the downward action work. That's different than on a four-seam fastball where it has to be on the corner because it doesn't rely on movement to get the hitter out.
Thank you, Bertie. Thank you for that. Thanks for the analysis. ACT doesn't matter. We're analyzing baseball games. Right, Bertie?
Absolutely. I give credit where credit's due.
I know, but Chip's up here saying my ACT is how many pitches he was doing per inning.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Only because I love you both. 2 balls and a strike for Bryce Elder. Vargas rolled out to second his first time up and had him flinching from that pitch. It's 2-2. You got to think too, Paul, the confidence muscle for Elder's got to be very strong. After all, this is the team that he beat for his first big league win. And did he go around? Yes, he did. He comes back to get Vargas for strike 3. Second punch out for Elder. 2 men are out in the 5th.
That's what I love. He gives up the double to Garcia on the first pitch. Okay, right back into attack mode. Throws that off-speed pitch and gets the check swing. Absolutely, he went.
Great point on the confidence muscle. I think when you first get to the big leagues, a lot of pitchers think, oh my gosh, these are the best hitters in the world. I got to be perfect. And then they start to pick, and then they fall behind, and then they start to walk guys. And at some point you realize that your stuff is good enough. That's why you got here. You have a strong arm, you have good movement on your pitches, and he has attacked the zone. That's the confidence muscle. That's what you need to get hitters out, to be aggressive.
Well, think about this, Bertie. You can go down and watch a hitter hit BP and they get 10 pitches right down the middle. You usually see 1 or 2 popped up into the screen, couple ground balls. Same thing with the pitcher. You know, how many times do we see a guy try to throw a four-seamer right down the middle and he throws a ball?
Yeah, it's hard to hit.
You're not going to be perfect every time.
And then how many times do you see a guy square it up, hit a laser, and it goes right to somebody?
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike for Victor Robles.
I know this, as hitters, we feel like we do that a lot more than we get bloopers.
I don't know about that, but, and then if you walk a guy, I've never seen anybody trip and not make it to first successfully.
That is true.
Robles way behind in the count, runner at second, 2 outs, and he went around. Elder gives up a double but strikes out Vargas and Robles to keep the shutout bid alive. He is dazzling tonight. Atlanta leads 3-0. We head to the 6th.
Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Well, that trot around the bases had to feel good for that man. Matt Olson with a 2-run homer off the foul pole in right field. That came in the 4th inning. The Braves got an Ozuna homer in the 5th. And we enjoy a 3-0 advantage with Riley Harris and Matt coming up again against the Nationals. Braves have 3 runs on 2 hits. Just goes to show you, you can have great stuff at this level. You make a mistake, big league hitters more often than not are going to make you pay.
And up in the zone too, more or less.
And this kid's pitched well tonight with a career high 7 strikeouts. He's walked a man, he's hit a man. That hit batter cost him a run. As you said, 2 pitches the Braves could get to, and they didn't miss them.
No. And that's the advantage to me of like Bryce Elder throwing that 2-seamer and sinker. You miss down, It's tough to hit a home run. Yeah, maybe give up a hard single somewhere, but you miss up. With how strong these guys are, you don't get too many of those back.
2-2 count. And off the plate for Riley. It's 3-2. Well, it's no secret. One thing the Nationals have to figure out is their starting rotation next year. They have been injury plagued all year long with their top starters. As that's taken high, Riley is aboard for the second time. That's the third walk. And it'll bring up Michael Harris as the Nationals bullpen is going to get busy. As Michael stands in, Jeff, let's check out our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
He's hit safely in 11 of 13 games versus the Nationals. He's hit 370 here at Nats Park. 5 of the 10 hits have gone for extra bases.
And as we said, you look at the National League rookie leaderboards, he's at the top of almost every offensive category.
Yep. Again, I'll say when we were in Seattle 2 weeks ago, the show that Michael and Julio Rodriguez put on, I think, solidified Rookie of the Year in the American League and National League.
Two great stars, two great center fielders, two great ambassadors for their team. And again, at the start of the year when the Braves were kind of puttering along, they were injured, they were very ineffective, struggling to get traction. When the Braves brought Michael Harris up to solidify their defense and get Adam Duvall into a corner spot, that made his bat better, got him off his feet a little bit. What was a liability for this team defensively became a great strength, and not surprisingly, balls that were dropping were getting caught, and the Braves took off.
And you said it, Adam Duvall did a really good job. Tough situation, got put in the center field, but when Michael Harris came up, it was able to move Ronald to right field, and like you said, move Adam back to left field, which he's an above average left fielder, Gold Glove left fielder to be exact. So something the Braves outfield had been so good for so many years, and you saw some balls drop, you saw some mistakes out there, and you know what? Michael really solidified that spot and this lineup.
And tonight, batting cleanup for the Braves. Paul mentioned earlier this kid that was starting at the bottom of the lineup, and we said after about 3 weeks, we don't think he's going to be hitting at the bottom of the lineup for long. And sure enough, Michael's great work has proven us right. Even count for the Braves center fielder. Riley at first with a leadoff walk. Machado continues to get ready in the Nationals bullpen. And up and away. Ball 2. Paulo Espino will pitch for the Nationals here tomorrow night. Braves haven't announced their starter officially. We'll do that after the game, I believe. We'll hear all about that on Braves Live. That's presented by Xfinity when Brian Snitker makes his post-game comments. And on the ground, up the middle, it's a base hit. Riley around second, cuts the bag beautifully. Atlanta's got him first and third with nobody out.
How many times do we see Michael hit that hole right there? It's amazing. Good job by Austin Riley here. Look at that, doesn't even stop, knows exactly what he's got to do, go first to third, and I think this is going to be the end for Abbott.
And that is going to be the end of the line for Abbott, who sets a new career high in strikeouts, but Atlanta's touched him for 3 runs, 2 homers, and Abbott will leave with runners first and third and nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Braves are rolling. It's game 1 in Washington. We'll tell you about Andres Machado when we come back.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Beautiful breezy autumn night in Washington. The Braves lead by 3 and threaten for more here with nobody out. This is Andres Machado. He's on in relief of Corey Abbott, who went 5+.
Yeah, he's done a good job this year. 7 appearances with the Braves, throwing 9 innings with a 3 ERA. Throws that sinker, slider, and will mix in the occasional changeup.
Well, Matt Olson has to feel good tonight. A 2-run homer off the foul pole in the 4th inning. As you pointed out, partner, in Philadelphia, when Matt makes contact, it's a lot more solid. Now the next step, make that contact more consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like you said, you hope that he's peaking at the right time, and when he gets hot, it's going to roll.
Well, a fly ball gets you another run. Good cut there. And all of a sudden, Jeff, instead of an 0-2 count, Matt had a 2-0 pitch and put a good swing on it.
Yep, that ball's down a little bit more. Probably hits at least a fly ball. And now look, you get in these situations. Now you got first and third. You feel like you can relax a little bit.
2 balls and a strike. May seem like a subtle thing too, but with Matt's struggles, Snitz moved him down in the lineup. He's batting in the 5th spot, not the 4th spot. As a hitter, what effect, if any, does that have for you?
You know, I think, look, you hit 3, 4, 5 anywhere in that thing, you're still in a big-time run-producing type thing. So I don't think he minds it as much. He knows, he's been through it.
Runner at first goes, and Michael Harris has an easy stolen base. That's number 20. No throw. And now they're at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. So he's got half of the 20 he needs for a 2020 year.
Good jump. Not even a chance to get him. Now they bring the infield in.
Swing and a shot hammered to right. Lane Thomas is there. Tagging is Riley. Here he comes. Harris is going to advance to 3rd, and that throw almost ended up down the left field line. So a 3 RBI game for Matt Olson. It's a 4-0 score.
And more important than that, another ball that you squared up and hit hard. And again, confidence-wise, hopefully that will continue to get him moving in the right direction. And more importantly, hit a fastball. But I think that shows you, look, that fastball was middle, not above the zone, so he was able to drop the bat head on it.
Nice leaping grab at 3rd. Meneses almost brought home another run with a bad throw. And William Contreras wears one. He's walked twice. Didn't think much of that. And Atlanta's got him 1st and 3rd with 1 out. That's the 2nd hit batsman by the National staff in the game.
That ball was coming at him right out of his hand.
Well, make him pay. Eddie Rosario is your batter. Eddie almost hit a 2-run homer his last time up. And Eddie is our Coors Light beating the pressure feature.
He's reached base safely in 10 of the 14 games this month. He had 129 in the first half, 264 since the All-Star break.
This one up the middle into the shift. Step on the bag for 1, and the throw to first dropped. Meneses couldn't hang on, and the Braves get a gift wrap run. Harris scores on the play. It's 5-0.
Wow, you ain't lying. That was a tailor-made double play ball. Just can hold on. Get that extra run, take a 5-0 lead.
Fielder's choice, give Rosario an RBI. You can't assume the double play. Thank you very much. 5-0. Atlanta the lead. 5 runs on 3 hits. And that is in for a strike for Ozuna. Let's see if Marcel can hit 2 upstairs. He's got 1. A leadoff homer in the 5th. And right there, 0-2. Well, one thing I love about this team, Jeff, they take care of their business.
Yeah.
They are beating the teams they are supposed to beat. And that has been a big story for Atlanta again, as this ball is cracked toward the right center field gap. Nobody's getting that. Rosario around second. He's on his way to third. He's going to come home. Relay throw will be cut off. A 2 RBI game for Ozuna, and the Braves are frolicking in our nation's capital. It's a 3-run 6th.
Boy, that's where if you're at first base there, you're just thinking, man, I catch that ball, it's 4-0, now it's 6-0. Hanging breaking pitch.
That's what Marcel did in 2020, virtually all year long.
When he hit 328.
So Ozuna up to 53 RBIs. Braves pouring it on here in the 6th inning. Here's Arcia. Orlando takes a strike. Braves are 12-4 against the Marlins. They're 12-4 against the Nationals. They swept the series with the Pirates 7-0. They went 6-1 against Colorado. You build up that kind of bankroll when you play the teams that are competing for the playoffs. Well, if you play them around 500, you still like your chances. As this one is cracked down the right field line. Thomas, long run, still going, sliding try up against the wall. And that is out of play. It's 0-2. Lane Thomas might need a breather. He's been running pillar to post tonight.
He's got his exercise in, put it that way.
Orlando has lined out and popped out. Three extra base hits for the Braves, among their 4 in total in the game. This ball is walloped to straightaway center. Robles back. That one's sailing out of here.
Boy, they have just flat opened this thing up, and one error by the first baseman. Nessus just tries to come with a 2-seamer. Last home run all the way back on August 2nd against Philly. This one a no-doubter. We'll talk about the length of the lineup. Bottom part of the lineup tonight now. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs.
And the Braves are up 8-0. And to the point we made earlier about taking care of business, good teams take advantage of mistakes.
Yep.
The Nationals have walked 3 batters. 1 of them has scored. They've hit 2 batters. 1 of them has scored. And they've given up 3 homers. And the Braves are on their way to a big win tonight. Fouled away 0-2 for Acuna. Ronald looks to get in on the fun. He is 0 for 3. We were talking with some scouts before the game that are getting ready for potential playoff matchups, and they were talking about the length and depth of this Braves lineup.
Yeah, that's what's so difficult. Again, you get through the first 4 or 5 hitters. A lot of teams you can take a little bit of a deep breath. Here you can't. Again, the bottom part of the lineup tonight: 2 home runs, 4 ribbies, double 2.
And now when you think, okay, the guys at the bottom are doing it, all of a sudden you get to the top and it's Acuna and Swanson.
Yeah, exactly.
Go get him. Broken bat. That one hit well toward left. But Hernandez is there and he'll put it away. And that retires the side. A great inning for the Braves. They score 5. The big blow, Orlando Arcia with a 2-run homer. His first in 6 weeks. Atlanta rolling in Washington. It's an 8-0 Braves lead. Bryce Elder now with a gigantic lead. It is 8-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Riley Adams, the catcher, will lead off. Only 48 pitches.
Yeah, go right back at it. Don't change a thing.
Driven toward right. Ronald is there. That will take care of Adams. 2 pitches. And 1 man out.
And before we get back to the leadoff hitter, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal. Always.
Top of the order now for Washington. Lane Thomas. He was robbed by Riley. A great play to end the 3rd inning on a slow roller. The way Elder's pitching, he's chasing a little season history for the Braves starting staff tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a complete game yet this year, and who didn't have Bryce Elder possibly getting that first complete game? I know I did.
And he's on pace to try to do it in 100 pitches or less. I mean, this has been a masterclass in pitching to contact and pitching economically.
And then with your team having the lead like this, you just go at it.
As Lane Thomas digs in, so Paul, maybe a Maddox in store tonight for Bryce Elder?
Hey, I love the comparison, and you know, when you talk about that, you talk about early contact sinkers that start out looking like they're down the middle, so you get swings, you get ground balls, and get outs.
And Lane Thomas with a base hit for the Nationals. It's their 4th of those, and 1 on 1 out for C.J. Abrams. That's a luxury too, Birdie, of a big lead like this. Don't walk them. Make them hit their way on, right?
Yeah, I don't walk them. And what I love about this right here, you just gave up a base hit, but you're always in the running for a double play, either with the sinker or with the curveball. We talk about it all the time. I love balls on the ground in an era where people can look for the high fastball, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of pitches. It's a nice change. It's a nice addition to see a little bit different.
And a spot start for the Braves, which allows them to set the rotation for the Mets series as well. I know, Bertie, that's something we were going to talk about with you as well. What are the Braves' plans for the rest of this series against the Nationals? As that one's rolled foul at first. 1 ball, 1 strike for C.J. Abrams.
So as announced earlier today, Kyle Muller will start tomorrow, and then Odorizzi the following game. And I talked to Cranny and Snit. Cranny, I asked him, hey, this is a big start. You're trying to catch the Mets and everything like that. And he said, we know Kyle was good in his last outing up here, and I don't talk about any of that. Kind of like Harris in the 4-hole, you just hit. When you go out and pitch, as a young pitcher, you don't worry about the standings. You don't worry about the team that you're chasing or anything like that. You go out, you execute your pitch, 1 pitch at a time, and you can see Brian Snitker's philosophy, Cranny's philosophy. It's fantastic.
Kyle's made a couple of starts with the Braves, so tomorrow night it'll be his 3rd. As this one is past Olson. That was well struck by C.J. Abrams. Lane Thomas will make his way to third. Close play. And they're at the corners for the Nationals with one out.
Abrams just turned on this ball. That one you can see he was trying to go in and just snuck it past Matt. You know, I think back to when that series in Miami, Elder, Muller, they all came up and did such a phenomenal job, if you remember. And what they did was they gave the Freeds, the Wrights, at the time, you know, Strider, they gave those guys a break. Let them have a couple extra days, and you're hoping the same thing happens here. But you're able to draw from it because of, you know, the experience that they've done it.
And it's not because of a heavy workload in the regular season that these guys need a break, but they pitched into November last year.
And then you come right back and you're at it again.
So Elder doing great work tonight. First and third for Joey Meneses. And Hunter Wendelstedt rings him up. It's 0-2. Infield hit for Joey his last time up gives him a 7-game hitting streak. And in 1-2 count, Luke Voigt's on deck. He's 0 for 2. Just 61 pitches for Bryce Elder. He's into the 6th inning. I know Meneses is playing for our opponent, but you really root for guys like this, don't you?
Oh, they stuck it out for a long time, man. A lot of guys would have packed it up.
Long minor league career, getting his chance at age 30. And almost got hit. Joey spent a year over in Japan, played for Oryx. And all he's done is lead the Nationals in hits, homers, and RBIs since he got to the big leagues on August the 2nd. Good for him. Now roll out and end this inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Joey Meneses was originally signed by the Braves as an undrafted free agent 11 years ago. The 3-2 missed inside, and the Nationals have the bases loaded with 1 out. So the first bit of trouble for Bryce. And that brings up Luke Voigt, who, as I mentioned, is 0 for 2.
Those last 2 pitches was exactly what I was talking about last inning. In the fact that all of a sudden you're trying to throw a sinker in on his hand. So if you think about that for him too much and you start setting up in, you miss way in. You have the stuff, you got the movement. Trust that if I throw it down the middle, it's going to end up where it needs to go. And on an 8-0 lead like this, get action, get contact.
So here is Luke Voigt. He bats with the bases loaded for Washington. Voigt is 1 for 8 in bases loaded situations this year. And there you go. Set up down the middle. That's exactly where Elder put it. Strike 1. He's thinking about hitting it into the Braves bullpen, and the Braves, Jeff, have exploited that all year.
There's another sinker instead of, and you saw where Contreras set up that time, kind of middle, maybe just a tad in, but still enough where you give him a good idea of where you want that ball to start.
He's got his man set up 0-2. Little dribbler foul at third. Voit stays alive. Sinker after sinker after sinker from Bryce Elder. He has struck out 3. He's walked 1. He has scattered 5 Nationals hits. Line caught. Throw to second. Double play.
Wow.
Voit hits a missile. Riley in the right place at the right time, and C.J. Abrams wandered too far off the bag, and that preserves the shutout bid as we go to the 7th. Okay, Trevor, thank you very much. We'll keep an eye on Aaron Judge as he chases history. Bryce Elder chasing some for Atlanta tonight. He's got an 8-0 lead through 6 innings. And the Braves will get deeper into the Washington bullpen. We've seen Jordan Weems a time or two. He's in his 28th game tonight.
Yeah, if there's actually one strength of this Nats team, Chip, their bullpen has not been bad. They've got some good arms down there that have really done a good job.
That's a place to build on for 2023.
But you said it. They got to get some starting pitching. It's a big question mark for them.
Yeah, Joe Ross, elbow problems. Steven Strasburg had the thoracic outlet surgery. No timetable on his return. Saw Patrick Corbin hurt his back against Atlanta down at Truist Park. And a kid they're really hopeful of being an anchor in their rotation. It's one of the guys they got back from the Padres, Mackenzie Gore. He's been rehabbing an elbow. They do have Josiah Gray. He's a former Dodger farmhand. So that's one young pitcher they can try to count on for next season. But for now, as Jeff said, the strength of their pitching staff is their oft-used bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Dansby, who's looking for his first knock today. He's also trying to extend a 10-game hitting streak against the Nationals. In this ballpark. Lined into center, right at Robles. He did not have to move a muscle. So Dansby hits a rocket, but he's retired as we invite you to cut to the chase. It's getting fun now, folks. Braves could be a game back with 8 to play. We will have all the exciting action of this Braves pennant chase for you here on Bally Sports. The cut to the chase on Bally Sports South and Bally Sports Southeast is brought to you by Texas Pete. Sauce like you mean it. Right now we're a game and a half behind the idle Mets, who once led this division by 10.5 games. Can you imagine how crazy Truist Park is going to be on Friday night?
That's going to be a lot of fun. Playoff atmosphere for sure.
Austin Riley has scored a couple of runs. He's been hit by a pitch and walked. He's also popped out to first. You talk about a guy having a magical year as a major league player. Austin Riley got MVP votes. He won a World Series. He has his first child. Gets a life-changing contract, and he visits the White House.
It's been a good 6 months for him.
Yeah. Good for him. 2 balls and a strike.
Say one of the most humbling young men in the league, though. It couldn't happen to a better guy.
Hitters count 3-1 for Riley. Good rip at that. Full count. President Joe Biden talked about the Braves championship run last year as a unstoppable, joyful run. The Braves, he said, were the upset kings of October. Perhaps a repeat is coming in 2022 because they are playing with a lot of joy now.
Oh, they are.
As Riley takes ball 4 again, he's aboard for the 3rd time in the game. And Michael Harris, your hitter. Well, let's see if Michael can get that 20th home run. He's already stolen his 20th base.
Yeah, why not go ahead and knock him out on the same night?
Last rookie with a 20 homer, 20 stolen base season was Chris Young, who did that 15 years ago with the Diamondbacks, and that was in the National League. As Harris shoots one toward Meneses. Better throw this time, and the peg to first is on the money to take care of Harris and the Braves. It is time for the stretch. Atlanta's leading 8-0. Our friends at Georgia Natural Gas will have that for you in our Atlanta studios. Braves. Jeff, speaking of great jobs, here's the best coverage in the game, our T-Mobile coverage cam. Let's enjoy Bryce Elder's night.
Well, he has filled up the strike zone. Ground balls. Look at that breaking ball, getting the check swings, and really has been economical too. 69 pitches in only 6 innings. It's exactly what you want on a night like this when your team gives you an 8-0 lead.
So we'll face Cesar Hernandez, Luis Garcia, and Ildemaro Vargas for Washington. Cesar is 0 for 2 tonight. Braves did all their scoring in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. 2 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and the 5-run 6th. 3 of those 5 runs were unearned after the drop at first base on a double play ball. And Elder now a 2-2 count for the Washington left fielder. If Bryce gets through this 7th inning, it will match his career high in the major leagues of 7 innings pitched. Strike 3 takes care of Hernandez. 4 strikeouts. 1 man down.
That's that sinker just on the inner half right there. That's where you want. Look at Contreras. Contreras sets up out over the plate, but this one, he kind of pulls a little bit, but still gives him plenty of room to get the call.
Let's see if Elder can solve Garcia, who's 2 for 2. He's going to. Little comebacker, turbo sinker, 2 outs. I mean, it's so fun watching a major league pitcher pitch to contact instead of, as you suggested earlier, we see trying to throw a fastball and missing with it. And he's been around the strike zone all night.
Yeah, and when that's, I mean, I hate to say it, when that's your game is you rely on movement. Elder's not throwing 97. You're not going to blow balls by people, but if you can, get ahead and go to work, these are the outcomes you can get on nights when a team's aggressive too. That's the thing. He's filling up the strike zone, so he's got 5 or 6 first pitch outs. They want to be aggressive.
And with this Atlanta defense behind you, why wouldn't you want the ball in play? Yeah. Another chance for Arcia. Nice try. Dansby backed it up but couldn't come up and throw in time to get Vargas. That one just snuck under Orlando's glove. It'll be an infield hit for Vargas. makes 7 or 8 strides to his right.
Yeah. One thing with him, you know, if he could have got that ball with his arm, would have been an out.
So Vargas 1 for 3. Victor Robles is 0 for 2. A sliding grab by Eddie Rosario in left robbed him and fouled away. Approaching 9 o'clock in the East. Very quick start tonight. Both clubs couldn't get anything going offensively through the first 3 innings, but Matt Olson changed that with a foul pole hitting 2-run homer in the 4th. And the Braves have scored 8 runs tonight. Bryce Elder has been dazzling. He's 1 strike away from matching his high of 7 big league innings as a starter, and only 80 pitches. This coming after the Braves had to work triple overtime in Philadelphia yesterday. The Braves used 5 relievers and had to cover 6 1/3 innings. Up in Philadelphia, they came away with an 8-7 win. They scored 8 again tonight. At the plate but low, it's 2-2. As Elder tires just a bit, you see the workload increasing over the last 3 innings. And off the plate. So Vargas will get a head start with 2 outs. Nobody has moved a muscle in the Braves bullpen.
No, not yet. For good reason.
Vargas on his way, and the pitch is skied towards center. Michael Harris got a terrific jump, and he's there in front of Ronald. And Bryce Elder matches his career high with 7 innings. He's got a shutout. It's 8-0 Braves in front. Brian Snitker's Chargers having fun in Washington, leading 8-0 as we move to the 8th inning. Jeff, that's been a recurring theme these last couple of years. Here's what we mean. Our team comparison is brought to you by Landmark tonight.
Yeah, well, the Braves have taken care of business. They've outscored them by a +64 run differential. And they have scored 4+ runs in 25 of the 35 games.
You know, Snit and the guys are really looking forward to getting this one in the win column, getting some rest. This time of year, with all that they went through yesterday, the ceremony today.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better to kind of open this game up.
Correct.
You know, get 6 more outs. Maybe have a cold one and then get under the covers and go to bed. Get in a good night's sleep. You said they've earned this one after a long day yesterday and today.
Well, Matt Olson, you know, he's going to feel good about his night. 3 RBIs for Matt, up to 95 of them on the year. A 2-run homer in the 4th, a 6th inning sac fly. There's a bullet foul past first again. We're starting to see him barrel the ball more consistently.
And what I like too, fastballs. That's the second fastball tonight we've seen turn on. You know, yesterday was the curveball, and then the home run today was on a changeup. Now he's getting to that fastball, and that's kind of honestly the progression. You get that confidence, you start to feel good again at the plate, more dangerous. See how his hands are back lower too? Did you notice that from this at bat compared to the first at bat tonight?
Had his hands kind of up around his collarbone, little waggle, I guess. Well, he's starting to feel good.
Yep.
Certainly looks good tonight.
See, he's got him back kind of down by the letters. That's the thing. I know you go through where you try to make changes, Chip, but at the same time, he's had 2 really good years now with a lot of power. And that's one thing I like, the idea of staying there. You don't just forget how to hit. He went in a rut for a little bit. It happens, but he knows he's going to break out when he does. Someone's going to pay.
Foul at first. Well, earlier this year, Matt had a stretch of 23 plate appearances without reaching in a row. He came out of that. He had a stretch of 21 or 22 during this September slump. Guys like Matt, I don't think you worry about because, as you said, there is the old proverbial back of the bubblegum card that you can lean on. And I would assume for him that's important to know. He's aware of the ebbs and flows of a hitter's life in the major leagues. And that's when he's at his best. He can hit for power and he can also hand the baton to the next guy. So that next guy is William Contreras, who's walked twice. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's tonight's Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player feature.
Yeah, and you see that 20 games versus the East. He's reached base safely in 18 of the 20. And since August 1st on the road, hitting .299 with an .855 OPS.
And he's done a nice job with Bryce Elder behind the plate tonight. And in for a strike. The Nationals have walked 5 Braves hitters. They've hit 2 of them. They have surrendered 3 homers. When we get to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Nationals will have their 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming up. And Williams stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes.
I would think Snit, unless Elder has a 7-8 pitch inning, I think his goal would be to get him through the 8th and then let someone else throw the 9th.
Well, he does have 1 complete game that came in Mississippi a couple of years ago for Elder. See him try to stay warm as this night gets cooler by the minute. As Jeff pointed out, the Braves do not yet have a complete game pitched this year. Maybe tonight's the night with an 8-0 lead in the 8th. Ooh. Pretty good pitch. But Contreras got the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mason Thompson starting this 8th inning for the Nationals. The pitch is on the ground deep short. Abrams fires to second. Short hop. Great play by Garcia. And that's a force play to retire Matt Olson. That was some kind of pick at second base.
I was going to say that could have been a disaster. But instead he makes a nice pick. Wasn't the easiest play going in the hole like that. And he did a good smart thing, Garcia, here. See how he started to bobble it, knowing I got to get the 1 out.
So William trades places with Matt with 1 out. Here's Rosario. Eddie looking for his first hit. Almost hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. Lane Thomas made the grab up against the fence. And Rosario hitting that fielder's choice. And he breaks his bat, and that one goes down a hero. Everything going the Braves' way tonight. That's their 6th hit. And Rosario's aboard. 2 on, 1 away.
Tell you what, if your bat's going to go down, die a hero. That thing split right in two. Look at the movement on that right off the tip of the bat.
What does that feel like when you hit it like that?
It shakes your hands a little bit when that bat breaks, but when you see it go like that, you get a little bit excited thinking, that's nice. That's stealing one.
Right off the end of the bat. That's one of my favorite camera shots when we can get it. That low home angle where you see at the point of contact the flex in a big league bat.
Yep.
It's just amazing. As Rosario gets a big lead. Nice night for Marcell Ozuna tonight. He's homered, he's doubled, he's scored 2, he's knocked in 2. Up the middle, Garcia steps on the bag and completes the double play. Meneses hangs on to this one, and Atlanta is out in the 8th inning. Bottom half of the frame coming up.
Brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and by Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners.
Well, Bryce Elder having a great night for Atlanta, a night that Atlanta needed. A spot start for him, giving the rest of the rotation a breather, giving the bullpen a breather with 7 innings, tying his career high. His pitch count, Jeff, is very reasonable, and they'll start with the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Washington here in Game 1.
Keep filling up that strike zone. Maybe you have a short inning here and give yourself a chance to go back out there in the ninth.
So we're building a little drama in an 8-0 game. See how far Elder can take the Braves tonight. Riley Adams has struck out and flied out. He is 0 for 2. And to your point, this guy's sinker is moving so well tonight, he doesn't have to throw 95 to be effective.
No, not at all.
That one a fair ball. Riley to Olsen, and he snags it midair. What a play.
What a play. Knew he had to get rid of it right away, and Matt did a great job. You see how he was stretched out, realized the short hop, so he came back. Watch you see him stretched out, and he goes up, goes back, takes that short hop. Beautiful play.
Our Riley takes care of their Riley with a spectacular play to start the 8th inning and a quick first out. Here's Lane Thomas. Ten ground ball outs for Bryce Elder tonight. He only had 1 in his first 2 innings. You see that from time to time too. Sinker ballers have to get a little arm fatigue before that ball really starts to
move
downward. Thomas has a hit that came in the 6th inning. The Nationals loaded the bases with 1 out, but a base running mistake on a line drive to third doubled up C.J. Abrams, and the Nationals' threat was erased. Another chance for Riley. Got the hop he wanted that time, and a perfect strike. 11 ground ball outs. C.J. Abrams the hitter, but first a quick word from our friends at Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with Tongue Torch, Zax Sauce, or any of our sauces.
Well, Jeffrey, 91 pitches, 8-run lead, 11 ground ball outs. If he gets Abrams quickly here, is he coming out for the ninth?
I think he is. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen, and you know, I think it's all going to depend on what Snit wants to do, but he's definitely earned the opportunity if he wants to.
Abrams had a hit in that ill-fated 6th inning for the Nationals. Elder's start tonight gives Max Fried a little extra rest. Max figures to pitch against the Mets this weekend. And there's one at the knees. I mean, this is a clinic. I don't care about it, the opposing team's record. These are major league players.
Oh, yeah.
And this one skied toward left center. Can of corn for Eddie Rosario. And Elder is through 8 with a shutout. Will he be back for the 9th? We'll find out. Orlando Arcia, Ronald, and Dansby coming up in Washington.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
3 homers and an 8-inning shutout is the recipe tonight for the Braves in Game 1 in Washington. Hope you'll vote, fans, for Tyler Matzek, who is up for a great honor as a major league player. He's the Braves representative for the Roberto Clemente Award here in 2022. Tyler's done a lot of great work with folks who are working towards mental health awareness. And the Roberto Clemente Award is brought to you by Capital One. Players who best represent the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Go to Braves.com and MLB.com/Clemente21 and vote for Tyler Matzek.
Well, I don't see anybody moving yet in the pen down there for the Braves. See, check the old sidewinder coming in.
I think the key word there is old, and I mean that as a compliment. Steve took the bullpen cart out of the bullpen before Washington. Yeah, like they used to do in the 70s. They've got a bullpen cart here at Nationals Park. You know, if you'd had the bullpen cart in your days with the Phillies, you might have gotten through 2 complete innings.
I don't think so. I should have quit after 1. If you live, you learn.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Arcia. Orlando's got a 2-run homer tonight, and he's got a line drive to second. There's the first out of the inning. And back to the top of the order. Let's get Ronald ahead. First, a word from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
Ronald now at 269 for the year as he looks for his first hit in 5 trips. And that's in for a strike. It's 0-1. Paulo Espino and Kyle Muller. Paul Bird reported Kyle Muller will get the start in Game 2 tomorrow night. And you know, Kyle's capable of great things on the mound. He'll have a tough act to follow as Bryce Elder's gone 8 shutout tonight.
Yeah, just do what I did. That's all he's got to say.
Ronald didn't chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll play Game 2 tomorrow night. 7:05 first pitch. Braves live at 6:30. And another night game on Wednesday. Then an off day at home Thursday, and then New York for 3. There's a bullet to third, and Ronald lines out. 2 men out in the 9th inning. Dansby looks to improve on an 0-for-4 night.
ACC college football this Saturday at 7:30 Eastern. We got Virginia at Duke over on the Valley Sports South and the Valley Sports app. ACC football on Valley Sports South, presented by your local Ford dealer.
Who do you like in that game? Should our fans take
Duke? Love the offense.
You like Duke's offense?
They can put some points up.
So we'll follow that on Saturday. as Dansby takes ball one.
That's just my suggestion.
Well, if anybody knows what's going on in the college football world, you would be well advised to listen to Mr. Francoeur. Base is empty, 2 out. So Dansby's long hit streak against the Nationals here is on the line, but for a right-hand hitter, this is a tough way to try to extend it against Steve Cishek. But here we are, Jeff. If there was an award for the best 2-out, 2-strike hitter in the National League, you're looking at it.
Yeah, this guy all weekend up in Philly. Every time came through in the clutch.
Throws him over the outside corner, and that'll retire Dansby Swanson. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Bryce Elder chases some history. He goes for a complete game in Washington. Defense go hand in hand. Atlanta's glove work certainly helped Bryce Elder through 8 shutout frames tonight.
Yeah, outstanding job tonight. He's given, as we said, put the ball in play for the most part, given his defense a chance to go to work. And now he's back out here for the 9th.
I love this. Braves are looking for their first complete game from any starter this year. Elder trying to become the first Braves rookie with a complete game since our old pal Horacio Ramirez did it 19 years ago. That was a 9-inning complete game. Have to put that qualifier in.
Yeah.
And in case you wondered, the last Braves rookies with shutouts, Steve Avery and Paul Merrick back in 1990.
Wow.
Well, you know, Elder is feeling it now. I mean, he's a big, strong kid from Texas, and he is doing his thing. And he's had very little stress. The only stressful inning for him was the 6th, certainly, with the bases loaded. But by then he had a huge lead.
Yep.
So as Elder is now at 100 pitches. Out of an abundance of caution, Snit's got the bullpen working. And it is Tyler Matzek. Strike 3. There's a good start to the 9th inning.
And see that pitch before set that up. His 5th strikeout. Way in, backs him off the plate, and then paint. Look at this, right off the plate. Look at that thing run back. I mean, that is some serious movement. That's why he gave up on it. You see that pitch, the first thing that goes through a hitter's mind, shut down. Now then it's right there.
You hate to use the comparison with the movement, but that's Greg Maddux type stuff, right?
It is.
Throw it at the hip
You hate throwing anybody in the conversation
Right.
with Greg Maddux. But yes, that ball is what he was known for.
So there's the first out. Luke Voigt. He's 0 for 3. And he's hit into a couple of double plays. One of them a bad luck. That was the line drive to Riley. And Abrams wandered too far off the bag at second base. He's a strike away from retiring Luke Voigt, who wants to lift and separate every pitch he sees.
Yeah, he's not looking for a single the other way.
But I would think that's something that
you can take advantage of.
Elder could. The 1-2. He struck him out. Look at that ball move. 2 outs.
Guarantee it's the same thing we saw on the last pitch because it hit the same exact spot. You're going to see that two-seamer start off the plate. Boom. Right back in. And an umpire right now hunting for strikes. You can see Horatio Ramirez back July 7th of 03.
On the ground. Arcia's got it. History tonight for Bryce Elder.
It's been a long time since I've been able to write 9 innings pitched in my scoring book. What can you say, Chip? What a job tonight. 6 strikeouts. What, he gave up 5 hits tonight?
What a night for Bryce Elder. And you said it best earlier. If you had Elder as the man pitching the first complete game this year for the Braves,
you're right.
Can you give us the lottery numbers too? And so with the win, Elder does a couple things. Bullpen gets rest, rotation gets rest, and this team, Jeff, now it's an 8-game sprint to the finish. The Braves are a game behind the Mets.
They are, and they took care of business tonight. First 3 innings, you know what? They were not able to get going, and Matt Olson kind of opened it up with that home run. And then you talk about saving a bullpen in an 11-inning game yesterday. You used a lot of pitchers. And what were you able to do? Throw a complete game tonight. Unbelievable. Kyle Muller is up next.
And that'll come your way tomorrow night against Paulo Espino as the Braves sprint to the finish continues here in Washington with our coverage starting at 6:30 Eastern Time. All the Braves' weapons on display tonight. 3 homers, great defense, and a complete game shutout for Bryce Elder in an 8-0 finish in our nation's capital. For Paul Burt and Jeff Rancourt, Chip Carey, thank you for joining us. Braves Live is coming your way next.